Yo, dad died January 2006. He goes to the hospital, right? Top of November. Thanksgiving passed. Christmas passed. I gets to worrying, let alone not in the spirits of holiday spirits because Thanksgiving passed, your father is in ICU. Christmas come. Christmas Christmas Eve come. Christmas Day come. He's still in ICU. Let alone your mother going to the hospital every day faithfully, coming back with no sign of hope or good news or something. January comes, New Year's Eve comes, New Year's Day comes. Still worrying. I'm like, yo, he done been in there the major holidays now. Something ain't right. He's still in ICU. You in ICU. You don't make it from there. How about my daddy comes home. My two older siblings, my two older brothers, picked my father up from the hospital. The doctor released him. Was like, yo, he good to go. He can come home, right? He come home hooked up to a machine and stuff. What lets me know, but he's frail. He's real skinny and stuff, right? My mom said every day she would go to see him, he was heavily sedated. You get what I'm saying? But when my two older brothers brought him home, I thought he wasn't gonna be the same. I looked at him; he was frail and all of that. And he spoke to me and said some stuff to me to let me know, like, okay, this dad, he in his right frame of mind. His appearance just ain't the same no more. Excuse me, y'all. So that day goes by, the next day comes. Commotion going on. You know how you can hear somebody in agony, pain, and stuff like that. So get wind of what's going on. My mom tells me something wrong with his machine or something. I don't know. Ambulance come. I don't know why there's always a thing with these people, but each time I call the ambulance for me, we sitting in the yard in the ambulance at least 5 minutes before we even pulling off. Now I see why certain individuals succumb to their death before they even get to the hospital. You get what I'm saying? But yo, my pops, my mom gets in the ambulance with my pops. Now they sits in the yard for a little bit of time and stuff, and then they goes on their way en route to the hospital, right? Where the people at? I know ain't nobody in here because I gotta get back in the algorithm. I ain't been in the spirits lately, going through some stuff around the house, around home with some loved ones and stuff. I need some prayer angels and stuff to touch my situation. But it ain't what I'm going through is what somebody else going through, and it's really affecting me. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, my mom rides with my dad to the hospital. I mean, on the ambulance to the hospital. I don't know how much time goes by. I know it won't no hour, probably 30 minutes. I don't know. My mom comes back home with friends of the family, probably one or two. House phone rings. I'm in the back room in my bedroom. The house phone rings. My mom pick it up. He can't come to the phone right now. His daddy just died. That's how I found out my daddy died. So I'm like, what? I can to this day I can't tell y'all the feeling that I was going through. Because the whole time when my mother rode with my father in the ambulance to the hospital, I'm praying. I'm 24 years old. I'm going on 25. This is 2006. I'm praying. I'm like, yo, now this is my live-in father. I don't have those stories like everybody else. My father was in the household. So I gave my father hell. You get what I'm saying? Like we clashed. I got the same name as my father. I look like my father. You get what I'm saying? That's neither here nor there, but yeah, I can't tell y'all that feeling. I don't know that feeling, man, to describe. But yo, when that girl called my house and my mama answered the phone, I was like, yo, he can't come to the phone right now. His daddy died. I'm like, what? Oh man. You get what I'm saying? To this day, I cannot describe that stuff. I cannot describe it. But this the kicker though, y'all. I gave my daddy and mama so much hell, right? I'm praying the whole time that they going on the ambulance, like, Lord, please let me make things right with him. Let him see me make some of myself. I'm a low life, in and out of jail and prison. Yo, to come to think of it, my daddy died 4 months after I got out of prison on my last bid. I mean, hold on my first bid. On my first bid, he was dead and gone by the time my second bid. But him and my mother and my aunt used to come visit me in prison faithfully. You get what I'm saying? But they used to visit me faithfully. But 4 months after I get out of prison, my daddy dies. 4 months, four and a half, going on to 5 months, my daddy died. So I'm praying. I'm like, man, just make things right between me and my father and stuff. Get our relationship together for us, like, it ain't no arguing, yelling match because I was rebellion. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, my daddy still died. You get what I'm saying? Because that's how I found out. When my mother got back home with friends of the family, my mom didn't tell me my pops passed. We had a house phone. My house phone was known for goddamn numerous females calling. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know who called this particular morning and stuff, but my mom was like, hey, he can't come to the phone right now. Cause she'll normally a girl call for me, she'll be like, boo boo, come get the phone. I get up out my bed and then go all the way, walk through the hall, go in the living room and get the phone. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I found out that I don't know what to do. I mean, I don't know what to tell y'all. You get what I'm saying? But yo, this the kicker though. My daddy used to always tell me, man, out of all those years I gave him hell, man. My pops always said that when he dead and gone, don't come boohoo and crying over his grave and stuff. I mean, over his casket and stuff. Yo, do y'all know? And I ain't talking about the funeral. I'm not talking about the funeral. I'm talking about like when you go to the funeral home and friends of the, friends and family can come view the body and stuff, and gather with the immediate family. You get what I'm saying? But I go to the funeral home, yo. So the funeral, like days away. You get what I'm saying? Probably 3 or 4 days away. But I go to the funeral home, see my pops. My pops suited and booted. Everybody knew my pops for being suited and booted and stuff. You get what I'm saying? But my pops was clean. But the kicker to this was he was stiff. He couldn't move. He was lifeless. That was the coldest kiss ever, y'all. I don't know if y'all aware of dead people in the casket. Their mouths are sewed shut. Their eyes are sewed shut. If their eyes are not sewed shut, they're glued shut or something like that. You can see it, it's visual. I got a good look at my mom and dad when they were both in the casket. You get what I'm saying? So imagine the images that I hold. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, man, my pop said that do not come boo-hoo and crying when he dead and gone. And I stood in line to go see my father and stuff. And by the time it was me to get right there in front of the casket, I broke down. Like it won't nothing in me to made me break down. It was natural. Like it just came out of me. You get what I'm saying? I broke down and stuff. I went to him and kissed his forehead. That's the coldest kiss ever, y'all. He was stiff as a board, mouth sewed shut, eyes sewed shut. It was no more of my dad. You get what I'm saying? He was lifeless. And I don't know anything about what they do to your body. Far as like, you hear talk of embalming fluid and, embalming the body and stuff. But I think when they take all your organ, or drain you or whatever the case may be, I think they stuff your body with that embalming fluid or whatever the case may be. It stiffens your body, and the feeling of a mannequin or whatever. That's all you feeling when you go visit somebody dead and stuff in the casket or something. Excuse me for saying dead. I'm gonna refrain from that and say when you go visit somebody that's no longer here, that's lifeless. That was the coldest kiss ever, y'all. I'm telling y'all. So, yo, I don't know if I'm overthinking this, and this maybe just something I could just got to live with for the rest of my life. But all right, fast forward 7 years later, my mom passed. My mom passed, right? But by that time, y'all know the story of me saying like, yo, my mom put me out right after my daddy died and stuff. So I'm gonna get to that. So I know my mama was fed up of me because I was a nobody. I never been nothing. You get what I'm saying? Prison. I'm stealing from her and him. Do y'all know I was stealing money from my mama's stash and stuff, right? I felt to hers, right? And it hurt my little soul when she told me one time, she was like, man, you keep stealing this money from me. That's money that I was saving to put on my mother's tombstone, a headstone or something. Like my mother was saving money for her mother's grave because didn't nobody have money back then or something for her to have the proper headstone or something. My mama had saved up some stacks. You know what I'm saying? Just for my grandma to have a certain headstone or something like that. I'm real, man. I'm telling y'all. So imagine the stuff I live with in my mentality for me to still be sane. You get what I'm saying? I'm living with guilt, hurt, pain, loneliness, and all of that. All in one. You get what I'm saying? But I still manage to be a sane individual. But yeah, back to what I was saying. My mother was tired of all of that stuff. I'm smoking weed in the house. I'm eating up all the food and stuff. Yo, my mom just got fed up, man. So the day of the funeral, my daddy's funeral, man. The day of my daddy's funeral. The day of my daddy's funeral. When we gets back home, the funeral people come get their stuff back out of the house that you have around for friends and family to come by and to sign their name in the book and all of that stuff, right? My mom told me I had to go. I was 24 years old. My mom told me I had to go. Yo, huh? Yeah, you got to go. The only reason why you were still here was because your daddy is dead and gone now. You 24, gone out there and live your life. Do y'all know how many years I walked around here with resentment towards my mother and family and different people and stuff just because of that, but not taking accountability of what I put them through and stuff. The purpose of chastising and all of those whippings and punishments and stuff and keeping us different from our childhood buddies and peers and stuff was in vain if you living as an individual man and stuff, as you living as a man and stuff to make your own choices in life, right? But what they instilled in you, you using it, you basically putting their name in vain is because like you are not living off the principles and stuff that they instilled in you and stuff. So when I got grown, a whole lot of stuff made sense to me and stuff. Okay, my mother didn't care if I grieved over my daddy's death or not. Enough was enough. I was at that age she felt like, hey, wasn't nothing gonna change with me. I had already been to prison. I was 23 when I first went to prison. Let alone I'm 24. My daddy died 4 months after I got out of prison on my first bid. He was dead and gone on my second bid. But my mother and father and aunt used to come visit me every week in prison. But long story short, when my mama put me out, man, the same day we buried my father, I'm walking around here. I couldn't even grieve over my father's death because I didn't know where the world I was gonna sleep at. This was in January. I'm cold. I had too much pride to let people know that I blame being homeless on me and stuff too, because I could have reached out to different girls, or if they felt like I was all of this and that, I could have reached out to them and been like, yo, I need someone to stay. Mom put me out. I ain't got nowhere to go. My rock left, which is my father. You get what I'm saying? My mom is my second rock. She didn't put me out. She don't want nothing else to do with me. So now I'm out here in the wolves. I'm out here with the wolves though. I'm forced in life. You get what I'm saying? The life that they try to prepare you for, but you so hard headed and mischievous and not wanting to darn pick up on the seeds that they trying to plant. You want to chase weed and be out here with buddies and stuff like that. And they always try to school you about if they your friends, then they want to be getting high with you. They'll be trying to tell you to go to the library, read books, and so we overlooked all of that stuff, man. But when you get grown, you kind of smile because you look and be like, yo, mom and dad was trying to instill that stuff in us. And where I smile because I look at some people who mother and father, they knew their mother and father, but mother and father weren't in their life because of drugs and alcohol. So their grandma or auntie took care of them. I ain't have that. My mother and father raised me and my little brother. You get what I'm saying? Blood father, real biological father. You get what I'm saying? So I couldn't even grieve over my father's death, yo. And that was the weirdest feeling ever. Bury your father. You going home, you supposed to hug up with family and cry and do this and that, like he's no longer here. Oh no, that wasn't the case. Oh no, boo, you got to go. You got to find you someone to stay and just live life from there. Man, I've been hit with so many obstacles, man, in life, man, it don't make no sense. Death of my parents, being homeless. And I brought that homeless on my damn self because I had too much pride to tell people that mom kicked me out and I needed somewhere to stay at. So me sleeping in abandoned houses and stuff, all those months and years and stuff, that was on me. But eventually down the line, I end up staying with chicks and stuff though. You get what I'm saying? A chick held me down though. A chick held me down. Her and her mother. I started staying with her and her mother. You get what I'm saying? She held me down during that time and stuff too. But other than that, man, that's been your boy life. You get what I'm saying? Like that rough. I ain't talking about goddamn. You get what I'm saying? Like that real deal rough. Like losing both of your live-in parents while you at an age where you forced to figure life out because you was too hard-headed to pick up on the seeds that they were trying to instill in you and plant in you and stuff. And to see both of them go and stuff and be buried in the ground, I don't know how I'm still sane, y'all. All I can say, man, is endurance. And I'm battling something right now as you all speak. And when I said battling, somebody else that I care about is going through something like life and death situation. You get what I'm saying? And that thing has just been rough on me because I care more for others than I do for myself. Because, like I told y'all what I'd have been through my death of my parents, homeless, prison, jail, letdowns in life. Ain't nobody, bigging you up, lifting you up. So you feel like you're a nobody in life. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know how people can pick themselves up and go out here and do stuff. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm saying all of that to say this. Somebody that I care for right now is going through life and death situations. So my heart goes out for them more than you get what I'm saying? Because I feel like I done battled everything now. You get what I'm saying? And I done endured everything. So anything that happened to me, I feel like, yo, I can endure that stuff. But when it happens to somebody else that you care for and stuff, care about, you get on some other stuff like, yo, you get more humble and stuff like that. You look at life a little bit more different. But yeah, man, that was just a story of just giving thoughts of how I was feeling, man, about my father passing and where was my head at during that time. And where was my head at? It was like, where was the food at? Where was the shelter at? Cause it won't like nobody else, they experience death. They gather up with family and boo-hoo and cry and do this and that. No, I want that. I had to put everything that I own in two trash bags, and I leave my mother's house and never look back. So 7 years down the line, my mother passed, and I held resentment towards my mother for her putting me out, man. And I wish I could have patched my relationship with my mother before she passed, cause I was seeing her, and I wasn't even speaking to her. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's been real. It's been another one, and I'm back. I'm back to making them vids and stuff. I actually got a vid. I got a video in the cut right now. It's taking forever to upload, so I was like, man, I'm gonna just go live and stuff. I've been on here 24 minutes, man. Whoever viewing and stuff like that, man, I appreciate that. Like for real, for real. And I appreciate that like too.